about that Seaside band? Well, happy Father's Day. Those of you that are fathers, those of you that had fathers, welcome. Today we have Holding the Light, David Yanaskas, serving as the spiritual vortex here in the room. Thank you, David. So, quick show of hands, how many of you in the audience have some sort of talent? I'm expecting everybody to raise their hand. Everybody has some sort of talent. Well, you have an opportunity to share that talent at the Seaside Got Talent show coming up on Friday, July the 12th. There's going to be auditions on Wednesday, June 26th. And if your talent is volunteering or public relations, well, we certainly need that too. So there's information about the talent show in your program that you should have in your hands. Also coming up is the yard sale. And the yard sale is happening on Saturday, June 29th. And it just doesn't happen magically. We need your help. And to tell you a little bit more about that, here's Keith Russell. Keith.
Good morning, everyone. When is the garage sale? Actually, today the yard sale begins. I have already made $85 for the church. People have been bringing stuff all morning long. If you forgot to bring it, you still have an opportunity to bring your donations next Sunday. And if you have large pieces, furniture, etc., call me on the orange piece of paper. It's outside on a table, has my telephone number. It's also in the bulletin, and I can come and pick up heavy stuff. Most importantly, next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, I need volunteers. I need people to come in, help me put stuff out, help me price stuff. It's a really tremendous job to get ready for Saturday. So I'll be outside afterwards. There's orange pieces of paper with my telephone number. Please, if you haven't volunteered at the church, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to get up and share your talents, also to meet some of the people in the church. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Keith. So starting Monday until October 14th, here in the sanctuary we have deep sound meditation. So imagine all the chairs removed and yoga mats or beach towels set up, and almost every square inch of carpet is covered with people, and then there are rows of gongs and then the crystal bowls, and it's a really great way to start your week with the meditation on Monday nights. More information about that in your program as well. I want to tell you about an upcoming special workshop called Unleash Your Calling, Create the Work and Life That You Love, taught by Tama Keeves. Tama's been featured on Oprah Radio, and Reverend Christian's going to talk a little bit more about this, but I want you to save the date of Sunday, June 30th, 1 p.m. All right, and Sharon is selling tickets in the back. Thank you. One of the great things about Seaside is the many classes and workshops that happen. I want to point out two of many coming up. Today is the 16th, and tomorrow night is Financial Freedom with Reverend Lori Sheets. And then on Tuesday night, Roots with Reverend Catherine Economo begins. The Seaside 25th Anniversary Silver Circle Gala is in full swing. We already have 85 members. There's a table set up in the family room. It's an opportunity for you to take your commitment to Seaside to a deeper level. They're putting on events, one of which, I'd like you to save the date, October the 5th at the Del Mar Hilton, is the Silver Circle Gala. So take note of that. Now, Gourmets for Gods is on fire. There's a sign-ups in the back of the room there with the different programs where you can go. And what I love about Gourmets for God is an opportunity to eat well, which is fantastic, to meet great new people, and to enjoy each other's fellowship outside, extend that out of the church setting into the community. But I want to make sure you know, and put the fire to you, that you need to sign up for your bids by next Sunday, June 23rd, because that's when the bids close. And with that, I'd like you to stand, greet your neighbor, and remain standing until the congregational song.
Well, hello everybody. Keep standing. Let's sing together, huh? Let's do this. How we doing? Yeah. Okay. Rebecca's going to help me out here. We're gonna sing a chant that's called Om Mani Padme Hum. So you're just going to repeat after me. Let's say that together. Om Mani Padme Hum together.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Good job. Now I'm going to go Om Mani Padme Hum.
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 All right, now that's what you're going to do. There's other words too, all right? You're going to go ahead and you're going to sing with Rebecca. Are you ready for that? Say, I'm ready. Look at somebody, say, good morning.
Good morning.
Here we go. Into the Spirit together.
Into the Spirit.
Breathe in and feel it.
Breathe in and feel it.
Deep in the shadows.
Deep in the shadows.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Into the Spirit.
Into the Spirit.
Breathe in and feel it.
Breathe in and feel it.
Deep in the shadows.
Deep in the shadows.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Come on now. Om Mani Padme Hum.
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 Om Mani
Om Mani
Padme Hum.
Padme Hum. Come on, Bob, give us something. Woo! Give Bob a big hand. Here he goes. Om Mani Padme Hum.
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 My heart, my soul
My heart, my soul
begin to let go
begin to let go
through loving kindness.
through loving kindness.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
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 Good job. Thank you, Rebecca.
Nice job, Carl. And good morning, Seaside. Hey, what a joy it is to be with you today on this fabulous Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads that are with us. Yes, that is worth some loving. Hey, welcome to Seaside, a spiritual nexus inspiring people to live their dreams, to live their divinity. Truly, it is a blessed community that welcomes you wherever you may be on your spiritual path. It is an affirming spiritual community. It is a home without judgment. We practice kindness and support. And truly, the blessings of Spirit is upon this place, this day in particular, because this is where we're at. And to take us a little bit deeper into that Spirit is a fabulous practitioner that has been part of Seaside from the beginning, and that is Robin Mitchell.
Please join me for a moment of stillness. So feeling that reverberation deep within, I center into this core of me where that one creator, that Father, God, dwells within. And as I feel this strength of the Spirit, the love, the wisdom, and the connectedness. Knowing that this day is divinely blessed with Spirit surrounding and through each one of us here, I know that it unfolds in perfect divine form. Knowing that the words from Reverend Tammy and Reverend Christian are the words that each one of us wants to hear today and that take us to that deeper level of consciousness and being. Knowing that the harmony of the music vibrates within us, creating the joy of Spirit expressing as us and as the musicians. And knowing that this day is sunlit, beautiful day, Father's Day, unfolds in perfect divine form, I simply release it knowing it is happening right now, and so it is.
God is love, God is magnificent, God is real, God is truth. You are love, you are magnificent, you are real, you are true. We are love, we are magnificent, we are real, we are true.
God is real. Good morning, I'm Reverend Tammy Mars. It's my joy to welcome you here today, to see the bright shining light that's twinkling from each of your eyes. As we come together here to feel and to know and to remember the infinite possibilities for our lives, knowing that God is that place that makes itself known as you, through you, in all that you do. So we're glad you're here saying yes, becoming that pure vessel, that channel through which God shines so brightly. So welcome. Glad that you're here sharing this with us. And if you're new to this teaching or new to Seaside, first we want to welcome you. And we have a gift for you. We have a membership pack or a welcome packet back at our welcome table. Within that is all kinds of information about our center and an invitation to go to our bookstore. Reverend Christian has a book gift for you and all kinds of different coupons and things that are available for you. So be sure to see our welcome table and get the gift that we have for you. So welcome to that. I also want to make you aware that Seaside is a tithing community. 10% of all of the contributions that come forth through all of us as we support this center go back out to the good works that are happening in this world. We have a ministry that's dedicated to that also that's called Heart to Heart. And there they go forth and find the opportunities in which we all may be able to give back to the community and give back to serve. We have an organization that's been part of Seaside here for many, many years. It's called Boys to Men. And we've brought forth a representative to tell you a little bit about that, the Boys to Men mentoring program. So I'd like to call forth Joe Sorensen. Give him a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Sigurdsson, Joe Sigurdsson. And anyway, thank you all for welcoming me and my wife Nancy here this morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. How many of you guys know a teenage boy that may be in some kind of trouble? Show of hands. Teenage boys in trouble? I mean, this may be a rhetorical question, I'm sure. Okay, so those are my guys. Those are the guys that the community of men that create Boys to Men work with. Guys that are on the edge, guys that are want to be good men, have an idea of what it is to be a good man, but have no good men showing them how to do it. So it's a problem. They want to be good. They know what it is to be good, and there's no one affirming them, blessing them, showing them what to do. So, and unfortunately, 43% of our children are being raised without fathers. And, you know, the exponential effect of that is devastating, where it leads to gang activities, like they're 200% more likely to be in gangs, and drug abuse, and they're looking for ways to fill the void of not being loved, of not being affirmed, of not being blessed, of not being acknowledged and not being admired, and no one's saying, good job, man, good job. So that's our message. That's what we do. We affirm these guys, we listen to them, we accept them, we bless them, and we tell them our truth. We tell them the choices that we made, the mistakes that we made, the price that we paid for our choices, and how those consequences panned out over a lifetime. The men in the circle tell the truth, gives the boys permission to tell the truth. They start talking about their lives. They start unburdening their souls. They start unburdening their secrets, and they're not carrying the weight that they did when they show up. And we do this every week. We have a group here at Seaside on Thursday nights from 6:30 to 8. And if there's any men that would like to join us, we have a sign-up sheet in the back. And if you know a young man that's struggling, that could use some support, that could use some acknowledgement, let us know. Send them, bring them here. I mean, we're here anyway. We're supporting this program by doing a surf event called the 100 Wave Challenge. 12 hours to catch 100 waves. Do I have any surfers in the audience? Awesome. Okay, so 12 hours to catch 100 waves. It works like a walkathon. You get people to commit a buck a wave. You get 10 people to do that, raise $1,000. The event's an amazing day. I don't have time, do I, to tell you about the event? Okay, so you're going to have to trust me on this. Who doesn't need an excuse to spend 12 hours surfing? I could use it. So anyway, thank you all. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh.
On behalf of a grateful congregation and all the work you're doing, we'd love to give your organization
wonderful.
this gift.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I've been here on Thursday night when I see them meeting in the Rose Room back behind us here, and see all the boys coming and the men, and the love is just overflowing. It's just so heartfelt. So what a beautiful, beautiful organization and gift that you're giving to the world. I so appreciate you. Thank you. And so it's with that, with our hearts wide open, why don't we turn within in prayer and anchor our whole consciousness, our whole awareness, our whole being, our whole essence into this spot. For God is love. God expressing is love expressing. And so I recognize right here and right now, and I know with my entire being, that the power and the presence and the love of God is the power. For there is one power and one presence. It is right here, right now, showing up as each and every individual. It is the beauty that radiates from the hearts and souls of the givingness and the kindness. It is the love of a father, the love of a mother. It is the love of those friends that are surrogate fathers. It stands tall in everyone's presence, for it is the activity of life, it is the wisdom of life that is in the billions of cells that occupy this beingness. It is the activity of life that is outside as we see nature and we see the glory of creation everywhere present. It is God in action. And so I just open my heart with complete blessings, knowing that each of us stand on holy ground, That every individual that says yes to Spirit, that stands and dedicates time to God, to truth, to knowingness, to being the very best that we can be, to releasing any blocks or anything that might be in the way by just saying yes. Yes. Committing to this one power and this beauty and this glory that we are. So I know that this moment is filled with God. And anything other than that just dissipates and disappears into the nothingness from which it came. For this, I am eternally grateful. Knowing today is a good day. This service is filled with glory and blessings from Reverend Christian. And something powerful and good is transforming. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Jade. I'm helping to fill in for Reverend Fran this morning, and it is my honor to introduce a guest artist for today. He has a new CD out called India. Every CD, 10% of the proceeds goes to fund, basically like a help go towards his foundation or something. The schools, thank you, sorry. Schools in India. He's very much integrated in some schools out in India, and anyway, help support that. I also learned that this is a series of 3, so please support. Help me welcome Carl Anthony.
Thank you, Rebecca. Oh my goodness, you want to have some fun? All right, it's Father's Day. Isn't that a cool thing? All right, so I've got a part for the women, and I've got a part for the men. Okay, it goes like this. The women, you're going to go like this. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Come on, let me hear you. Da 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 da. You got the words? All right. All right, now actually Rebecca's going to help you with that part. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, go. Da 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 da. Okay, I think you got it. That's good. Now, the fathers in the room, stand up, please. All the fathers in the room, stand up. Give them a hand. All right, I'm having you stand up while I teach you this part. You're going to go like this. They're going to go da 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 da. You're going to go hey ho da 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 da. Then let's go da 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 da. Then I know da 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 da. Then who's your daddy? That's your part. All right, so now, out of the ones who are standing here now, I need about 12 of you up on stage. Give them a big hand. Come on, 12 of you, come on. Come on. Hurry up, we don't have much time. Come on. The rest of you can sit down if you want. It's okay. All right, you guys ready? Let's go over that again, all right? The women are going to go daddy, daddy, daddy. You're going to go hey, ho. Let's try that again. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Here we go. Hey, ho. Now, when they go that way, I mean, it's just like all guys want to be rock stars, really. Isn't that the truth? So when they do something kind of nice, you got to act like a rock star audience. Ready? Okay, good. The next one is let's go. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Let's go. I know. Daddy, daddy, daddy. I know. Now the last one is who's your daddy? And you have to go like this. You got to go, who's your daddy? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Who's your daddy?
Give him a hand. There's still something missing, don't you think, Rebecca? Would you help me out a little bit?
Yep.
Okay, we've got to give him one more thing. We got a little costume. All right, you guys ready? All right, let's have the band come in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Hey, hey, ho. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Let's go. Let's go. Daddy, daddy, daddy. I know. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Give him a hand. Go. Here, your mic. All right, now we're talking. You guys ready? You gotta move a little bit. Yeah, daddy, 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 hey ho, daddy, 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 let's go, daddy, 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 I know, daddy, daddy, daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah! You guys are great. He is a lovely guy. No one can deny today we call him King. So sing, cat daddy, sing. Come on. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Hey, ho. Daddy, daddy, daddy. I know. Let's go. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Let's go. Let's go. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Bob. Do that again, Bob. Give Bob a big hand. Yeah, daddy, daddy, daddy. Hey, ho. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Let's go. Daddy, daddy, daddy. I know. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Oh! Who's your daddy? Try that. Who's your daddy? Everybody. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Yeah. Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
He's a lovely guy.
Who's your daddy?
No one can deny. Today we call him King.
Who's your daddy?
So sing that daddy, sing. Here we go. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Hey, ho. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Let's go.
Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Hey,
I know. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Give it up for the guys. Give Rebecca your... Oh, there we go. Put your glasses in there and leave the stage.
Hey, my, good job, Dad. Man, I am so happy all you guys were up here this time. There weren't enough of us at the first service. I had to do that. And is that a sight I hope they didn't capture? Because we would have a good fundraiser going on. Fathers, great job. Loved it. We're rock stars. Woo! Who is your daddy? I like that. Hey, thank you, Carl. Now, how fun is that? Oh, my. And Joe, thank you for our Boys to Men. That is just a fabulous program. I'm so proud that you're doing it here at Seaside. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, this morning, Father's Day, and it is about the father's strength. I'm glad that's up there because I'm still trying to get centered after Who's Your Daddy. But here's a good story to start with. Anyway, there's a kid out in the woods walking with his dad, and there's this big old rock or boulder in the path. And any good little boy, rock is like his mission to move that rock. It's in the path. I'm going to save the world, Dad. And he tried moving that rock. He tried digging that rock out. He put his shoulder on it, and it wouldn't budge. He got a stick and tried leveraging that rock. It wouldn't go. And exasperated, he just, Dad, the rock won't move. Dad said, you use all your strength. He said, yeah, I did everything I could think of. And Dad said, but you didn't ask me. And it's like, wow. How often in our life do we use all of our strength? We try to shoulder it. We try to push our way through, and we forget to ask God. We forget we have that inexhaustible strength, that omnipower that can move it all, and we forget to call it forth into our life. We forget to call in that help and that assistance that is always there, our strength and our power that is there. I can remember as a kid, we would go to the mountains in the winter. We'd go up to Arrowhead, Lake Arrowhead. Actually, we'd go to Crestline. And I can remember at night just so vividly going outside with my dad under the stars. And I would hold his hand, and we would walk down the road, and we would look at the black sky with all the stars, and the wind be rustling through the snow-flocked pine trees. And there was not one trace of fear inside of me because I had my dad's hand. You could bring on the mountain lions. You could bring on the bears. And I had my dad, and I would say, come on, I'll bring it on. You know? And we forget that we have that strength and that power inside of ourselves. I remember fishing with my dad out on the beach. Not the most high active sport. But, you know, the days are long. Well, I'm not going to catch anything. And Dad would say to me, you know, if you're busy thinking so much about the future, if you're always thinking about the future, the present is going to skip you by. Yeah, right, Dad. But I'll tell you, I was at the fair yesterday with Trevor, and just the little sweetest sound I could ever hear was just Trevor taking my hand saying, "Come on, Dad." I thought, whoa, what a great sound. "Come on, Dad, let's go." How wonderful that sound is. Now, I got to fess up. I grew up in a pretty nice household. We had a happy family. It wasn't dysfunctional from my perspective. We all got along. My brother was wild and crazy, so it kept us holy ones from getting, too holy. And it was a happy family. And I've done enough of this to realize it's not that way. We heard there's 43% of the young men growing up in homes without fathers. And so as I share the stories today, I recognize that it's not that way in all the homes. And really I'm sharing more about the connection with the Heavenly Father. And today I'm using Father because it's Father's Day. It's Father, Mother, God is what we talk about because it is the masculine, it is the feminine, it's the yin, it is the yang, it is the thrust, it is the receptivity. It's all of that. But today it's Father's Day, so give me a break. I'm talking about the Father. And what I've come to recognize is that it is a day in which we honor dads. And we all of us have something in common. We have a biological father that gave us the sacred gift of life. And after that, some may have been part of the home, and some may not have. Some may have been schmucks, and some may have been saints. But we have all had individuals in our life, like these boys to men, these men that have touched us in a way that saw something inside of you that you didn't even recognize that was there. Somehow, someone saw something in you you didn't know was there, and they brought it forth. That is the strength of the Father. That is the strength of the heavenly presence. That is the strength whose hand that you can take hold of. That is the strength that it doesn't matter whose face that it can come to us. And what matters is not so much who my Father was, but it's how I choose to remember here. You got that? Not so much who he was, but how I choose to remember him in my life. How am I going to remember that in my life? Am I going to allow that shift to take place? Because I'll tell you something from the Little Prince. Anton said in his writings that a rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment one individual sees the image of those rocks as a cathedral. The rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment one individual sees the image of a cathedral in that pile of rocks. That one person. That presence that has touched you, the strength of the Father. And so what you get to do is decide whether those inferior thoughts I'm going to squeeze out by superior thoughts. Am I going to let go of those depleting thoughts that I have held on to that may not be as honoring of that heavenly presence? I can crowd them out by recognizing, I have that divine hand in which I can take hold of. I have got a strength I can use to move the boulders from my path in my life, but I'm the one who must remember to ask for help. I'm the one who must remember that, I can call on that presence. I can borrow that divine. Maybe my dad's not around, but, I can borrow this one. There was, Linda Fisher shares the story about being out in her front yard doing some weeding, and her little 5-year-old neighbor came wandering over. Her mom just had a baby, which allowed her a little bit more freedom in her life to explore. And she was over there, and she sat down next to Linda, started asking her, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? How are you doing that? Why? How?" Well, those questions that come. There was this object on the fence. What's that shiny object on the fence? And Linda said, "The shiny object, I don't know what it is, but my father put it there." And she said, "So where's your daddy?" She must have been here. Who's your dad? Where's your daddy? And she said, "Well, my daddy, he died a couple years ago, which is how I, got to be in this house." And the little girl said, "And is your daddy coming back?" And Linda's she'll just leave it at no. And she said no. And it was just too much for a little 5-year-old brain to comprehend. No, daddy's not coming home. And she thought about it. She looked at her in the eyes, because she's down on the ground about eye level, and said, "Well, you can share my daddy. He's a pretty good daddy. I'm sure he wouldn't mind." Oh, that's right. We got to recognize that we don't go through this life alone. We can't do it all by ourselves. Oh, we can try to move that boulder with our shoulder. We can try to do this thing alone. But I'll tell you, it is a lot easier and it is a lot more fun to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to do this with someone. I am not alone here in this world, because you're going to get it one way or the other eventually. It's like the bricklayer who was trying to move 500 pounds of bricks from the fourth-story floor back down to the ground floor, and it was just too much for him to do by himself, but he attempted it. And so this is what he filled out in his insurance claim after his attempt, is that it was too much to do alone. But what I decided to do, because it would take too many trips to go up to get the bricks, come back down, is that I put all the bricks in a barrel. And I threw a rope through the pulley that was fastened on the fourth floor, and I went down and I tied the rope real tightly to the sidewalk below. And then I went up and I took that barrel of bricks and I swung it off the fourth story, and I went down to the sidewalk and I took a firm hold of the rope and I unfastened the rope. And as I unfastened the rope, the 500 pounds weighed a lot more than my 150 pounds, and I went flying up. And right about the second and third floor, I met the descending barrel, which is how I ended up with the lacerations and bruises on my upper body. But I didn't stop. I continued up until my hand got jammed in the pulley, which accounts for why I got the broken thumb. But at the exact same time I arrived at the top, the barrel landed on the sidewalk below, and the bottom burst out of it. And when the bottom burst out, then the barrel didn't weigh anything. And so the barrel started shooting up, and I started coming back down. And right about the second or third floor, we met again, and that accounts for how I got the broken ankle. But it only slowed me down slightly, and I continued to go down, and I landed on the pile of bricks, which accounts for my bruised back. But I lost my mind at that point, and I let go of the rope, and the barrel came down, and that's how I got my head injuries. Yeah. Gonna get it. I mean, and the last question was, and what? Yeah, you know. And what did you learn from this? I learned that if this situation were to arise again, I would not attempt it alone. You know, as we go through this life, how much do you need to be smacked around to realize that there is a heavenly strength and a power that you do not need to do this thing called life alone? How many knocks and pounds do you need to get it in your life? That you need to let go of your old story that makes it heavy. Oh, maybe your character, this is the chip on my shoulder. Look how I got abused by what have you. But I'll tell you, holding on to your old story is a waste of time if you want to go through life with joy and ease and grace. Yeah? You get to decide. We're doing this Gourmets for God, so I'll use this analogy. The gourmet food we feed to the critics in our mind. The one that is holding on to the story, the critics, the one that sits there in judgment, is the one we give the good food to, the good energy, and the leftover is what we take into ourselves. Ernest Holmes and Joel Goldsmith, they talk about the right identification. What are you identifying with? I can't tell you. You know, that's something you get to ask yourself. What is it that you are identifying with? William James, father of modern psychology, said that for which you hold on to determines where it is you're going. That for which you hold on to determines where you're going. That which you put your attention to is actually what he said, not hold on to. That which you put your attention to determines where you're going. Where is your attention? Where is your stories? Where is it that you're holding on to? That determines where it is you're going. Where is it that you are going in your life? Are you willing to let go of that old story? That's a waste of your time. You're going to stop feeding those critics in your mind and begin to take hold of that strength of your being, even if it's not like you thought it was supposed to be. Am I willing to have a new remembrance of what it was like? Why do you want to hold on to that pain? There's a new strength, a new possibility waiting for you to embrace. You know, this fatherhood thing, as I begin to practice it, and I'm like 12, 13 years into it now, I'm real clear that I'm very inept at being the disciplinary of our house. I'm just not good at that. And then when it becomes being the taskmaster, I'm hopeless. It's like just easier to do it myself. And the short order cook, I'm always picking the wrong thing off the menu at home. It's like, but what I've learned, what matters for me is to be present. That's what I get to do. I get to be present and help with as much as I can with being present. I have figured out you let the women have the babies, and then you jump in and be involved with everything else afterwards, the best that I can. And what I learned is that changing a diaper is a lot quicker than waxing your car. Though a car doesn't pee on you, I'll assure you. But the little baby's book value holds better than the car. And then when I'm trying to make the fatherly decision, I've come to recognize, after I stressed over it, I basically have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So you just go for it. And as I've come to discover, there's really no absolute answer because everything changes. One day he likes it, the next day he doesn't. It's like, I don't get it. You liked it yesterday, but you don't like it today. And so the only people that can tell you, they tell you, these people, how you should be raising your kid and how you can do it properly are the ones that don't have kids in their life. And so the best thing that I have been able to do is to be present to the best of my ability and to practice something Zechariah said, and it's not by might and it's not by power. It's by the Spirit, says the Lord. It's not by might, it's not by power, it's like through the Spirit. And what is that Spirit? It's the Spirit of love. What is it? It is that love, it is that fire, it is that caring, it is showing up. Hey, Tama Keeves is coming to Seaside. She's going to be here on the 30th in a couple weeks. On a Sunday, she's speaking. I encourage you to be here. I love her writing. I just savor her book. She is a sculptress with phraseology. Harvard graduate who gave it all up. But she wrote in this book, really inspiring, this book called Inspired and Unstoppable, trying to inspire you to go for your dreams. But it seemed like very appropriate with parenting because she was talking, well, I'll tell you what she wrote here. She said, here's what I know from coaching thousands of creative individuals and visionaries. Okay, this is what you know. It's all about the mojo. The mojo releases an electricity that turns a lamp into the obliteration of darkness in the act of God. Wild success isn't about going through the motions. It's not about staying in motion. It isn't even about your legs. It is about the light in your eyes, the fire on your tongue, and the sweep of your heart. And when you're bouncing off the walls with voltage and star power, as long as your hair is looking good, nothing can withstand you for long. So study your mojo meter, and this is how you pay attention. Do your actions stem from desperation or inspiration? Are you coming from fear or are you coming from love? Because, dear ones, where you come from is where you'll go. Otherwise, you can take all the right steps and still end up in the ditch, miles from the festival or the pot of gold. What I got, it's the mojo. What I got is the fire in the eyes. What I got is the sweep of the heart that makes a difference in parenting. It's the difference that makes when you're with people. It is being present. It is being there, letting them see your spirit, allowing yourself to be exposed so you can be seen by wherever you are. And that strength that they see is not yours. It is from this other world. You've just reached out your hand at that cosmic, intuitive level and have found a new strength to show up in a way that is transformative, in a way that makes a difference. And when I do that and I am bringing the gifts, what I have come to discover, thanks to Trevor and you guys too, is they're not always accepted. Not everybody wants what you got all the time. I maybe sometimes have shared in classes the wisdom that would change the universe, that would transform the galaxies, and I throw in a toaster and a money-back guarantee, and they're still looking at their feet and like, eh. They just don't want what you got today in this moment. But the good news is nothing's absolute. I don't care if it's a 13-year-old or in a classroom. It could be different tomorrow. And what is important is that I continue to show up with what I got. Not my filter of look at how I got abused as a kid. Man, my parents are long gone, bless their heart. You're an adult. And when I hear people say, but how they messed me up. Like, haven't you grown up since then? Hello. Yeah, it's... We've got to listen. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. Because as you're willing to change the remembrance, there's a place for forgiveness to show up. And that is the strength of the Father. That is the strength that will transform the universe, save the world. But you've got to be willing to have that happen. Cal Lewis ran away from home. He'd been gone for about a year, and his soul started stirring. And he wanted to come home. He got it. And he started to write that letter to his dad over a couple months. And he just could never go. Finally, he wrote that letter and said, "Dear Dad and Mom, I'm so sorry. I realized when I was done with high school, I didn't want to go to college. I hated school. And working on the farm, that hard work, I was just, and Dad, you were always just a taskmaster, and I just didn't want to do that. And living under your roof, it was not okay. I was a grown man, and when you got angry at me that day, I just threw in a few things, stuffed them in the bag, and slammed out that door. And I still remember Mom crying, and tears pouring down her face. I've lost hundreds of sleepless nights over that vision, the tears pouring Mom's down her face, and you shouting that if I leave this house, don't you ever come back." And Dad, I've been out on the road now. I've had many different jobs, none of them good. All of them said, "What kind of education do you have?" They're all looking for a college degree. I now realize the beauty of having a home to come to at night where there was love and security and warmth. Many times in my mind, I've just felt your presence. So, Dad, I want to come home. I understand if you can't accept me back because of what happened. And so if I'm going to be driving by there in a few days, I'll make sure it's at night. And if it's okay if I come home, if you would leave the porch light on, I would see it and accept that. And if you don't leave it on, I understand. I'm the one who left the house. Please give my love to Mom and my sisters. And with that, he put in some remote little mail slot in a small town, started hitchhiking back. He also said, "I'll be hitchhiking, so I don't know when I'll be coming through town." And you can't send a letter back. It's probably before cell phones. First day out, he made it 50, 60 miles hitchhiking. Next day, he made it, maybe another 100 miles. Finally, he got a ride with a guy who was probably a salesman. The guy said, "Hey, how's it going?" Or, "Where are you going?" And Cal thought, "I'm going home." And he said, "Where you been?" He said, "I've been out and about." And the guy said, "How long you been out?" And he thought about that, and he said, "I've been out 1 year, 1 month, and 2 days." The guy didn't even look at him, but Cal saw that he understood. It was getting dusk time. He said, "Let me take you out to dinner." So they pulled into a diner, and he fed him, and he picked up the tab. And he said, "You know what, Cal? You probably should sleep in a hotel tonight. You need to get cleaned up. You've been sleeping out and about a little bit too much, and I'll pay for your room tonight." And so when he woke up in the morning, the guy brought him breakfast, and he shook his hand and said, Cal said, "I don't know how to repay you." And the guy said, "It's okay. I want you to know my son's been gone 2 years, 2 months, and 15 days. I just hope somebody would be nice to him." With that, Cal continued on his way home and ended up sleeping out in the field one night underneath a tree, the sound of the tractors humming and the reminiscent of the fresh cut hay, the sound of the dogs and children playing. He just envisioned his mom feeding him food. He's getting hungry and said, "Son, I prepared this especially for you." And just excited to get home, getting a little closer. He's probably within another 50 miles from home. The dusk is there. It's coming down. It's starting to rain. He's not standing trying to catch a ride. It's been quite some time. And finally a trailer stops on the side of the road and opens the door. He jumps in the rain. And the guy says, "How's it going?" He says, "Okay." Cal says, "Going about 40, 50 miles. He said, "I'm going further." He said, "Good." And he didn't talk much. And the rain's coming down, and he's driving, and he's getting closer to the farm, and he's afraid to look. And he kind of closes his eyes, and his eyes are closed as they're getting closer. And the truck driver says, "Now, that's not the craziest thing I've seen. Those guys must be nuts that live in that house. There's 4 or 5 chairs outside. All of them have lamps of light on them. And there's an old man out there with a flashlight pointing at every car going by on the road. And their porch light is on. I don't know what's going on there." What can happen when you can find the strength of that Heavenly Father inside you, the love that can heal? And so in this time where I just encourage you to allow your memory to reframe and be uploaded and to remember. You know, I think about my dad, obviously, on days like that. I looked at his picture and I just said, thank you, Dad. You know, thank you for, taking me to work with you when I was growing up and sitting in his trailer waiting for his scene to be shot at the set. You know, it's just special memories. Thank you, Dad, for always 5 o'clock dinner. Even though everyone in the neighborhood ate at 6, I had to be home at 5. But I remember the family dinner so special in my heart and my soul. Thank you, Dad, for playing with me after dinner, going bike riding, ping pong tournaments, basketball. Thank you, Dad, for sitting in the bleachers while I played baseball or basketball or being the coach for the team. Thank you, Dad, for teaching me how to barbecue or how to fish or to showing me what sunsets are. You know, thank you, Dad, for that first sports coat you bought me. I don't know about the bow tie. You know, just thank you, Dad, for saying I love you many times and showing me real men do hug. You know, thank you, Dad, for giving me my name. I like being named after the king of Denmark. That's good. Thank you, Dad, for showing me love. Thank you for being my dad. Thank you for being my hero. Because what I know, when you bury someone you love, you bury a piece of your heart. But what I've come to learn is don't bemoan that, because that may be the only thing they can take with them. There's a Native American saying that says, they will always live who are alive in the hearts of those they leave behind. So on this Father's Day, I encourage you to upgrade your story, your remembrance, and know that there's a strength that is yours. God bless you. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Mr. Carl Anthony back to the stage.
Good job.
All right.
Oh, my goodness. Reverend Christian, you've done it again. And one thing that I am truly delighted about is that you invited me into your family. I have the great honor of being Trevor's godfather. It's I always thought I would be a father in my life, and when that didn't happen for me, I've been invited first by my sister to be the godfather of her daughter, my niece Jenny. That was my first, and then Trevor, and then there was these other two characters, and some of you know them, Shivani and Kushani. Those of the people that are clapping, those of you who don't know, Shivani and Kushani are two young little angels that it was a family, an Indian family that is a part of Seaside, that I am the godfather of their family. And they are now living in India. And as a result of being invited into their family, I have a connection with India. I would not have my new CD called India if it wasn't for that fact that I have that connection with them. You know, and I wouldn't be connected with you unless I was invited into Seaside's womb, you know, in that to be a part of this community. It's such a blessing, isn't it? I mean, when we look at the connections, so what I'm going to do is I have a song. The title cut of my new CD is with Shivani, singing it with me. Now, she sang it in India, and I'm going to direct your attention up to the screen, and you're going to see slides of what the CD supports, and it's the schools that we do when I take people, the willing, who want to go with me every year to India. This is what we do in India. So you want to hear the song? And now listen for Shivani, of course. You'll hear Shivani singing it with me, but you'll also see Shivani and Kushani on the screen. Let's go ahead and begin the slides. This is called India. Now you're going to sing a part in this. You're going to go Hare Hare Hare. Try that. Hare Hare Hare. Okay, you got the words. I think you'll love to experience how Shivani's voice has really come together. She was 13 yesterday. The sun is dawning, in India. Chai is brewing, in India. The village waits to prepare the day. Namaskar, Namaste, Hare 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 Hare. Together. Hare 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 Hare. The fog is lifting. In India, my mind is still. In India, River Ganges flows from hills to sand. She heals and blesses through all the land. Hare 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 Hare. Hare 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 Hare. Hare 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 Hare. Shops are stirring, and streets are loud. A simple smile will draw a crowd. The Swami's chant, and the people pray. Namaskar. The sun is setting. In India. The moon is full. Over India. Add one more day. To 5,000 years. Namaskar. Namaste. Namaskar. Namaste. In India. India. Namaskar.
That is Carl Anthony. Oh my. Touching our hearts, touching our souls. It's, wow, very beautiful. It's See where Shivani, Kushani live is just amazing. That's for any of you to be there and the good work you're doing. Talk about that positive influence. Just thank you for the work. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness and our sharing. This is a time in which we get to make our financial contribution in support of God's work that manifests in our life as Seaside. We have created this place. We're able to sustain this wonderful community and know that we have a foundation upon which we rest. That it has continued to be here for us for 25 years. And so I invite you to look within your heart and to feel that and to sense that and know that how you've been touched. Let's give from that overflow. You can't outgive God. Try it. And you'll find a wonderful attention showing up in a future that is just so right for you. And so I want to invite our ushers to come forward at this time and say thank you to this crew and thank you to those that mail in your contributions. It is greatly appreciated because we have regular ongoing responsibilities as well as those that remember us with the auto tithe. That systematic support from your world into Seaside. And thank you to our online community that chooses to support this ministry that continues to show up in places around the world. I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this is a blessed moment where that wonderful flow of life moves. That truly we live and move and have our being within this infinite reservoir of expanding and emerging greater good. And I know that each of us is that channel through which it emerges and comes forth. So saying yes to that impulsion of spirit that seeks to move each of us forward, I say yes to the lure of being used by God in this moment, knowing that the blessings of spirit has its way. And with that comes a strength and a conviction and a deep knowingness that cannot be shaken. So allowing myself to be used by God to continue to share and shower the world in which I walk with the blessings that I can, that which has blessed my life, continues to move out into the world, bringing blessings to all those with whom it comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity. And so it is. Amen. And together, let us say the sharing of our abundant consciousness, which is Spirit, continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. And as I just stand in this beautiful sense of music and this bountiful blessing, I know that the richness of God continues to move through every aspect of this morning and this moment. For I know these gifts have been given in love, been given from a place of trust and faith, and received in that kind of way and taken care of in good stewardship and sent forth back into the world. For I know right now that Spirit has entrusted this place in time and space known as Seaside to our care. As we continue to be used by Spirit, we find the bountiful blessings continue to emerge as our very experience. So we send this forth knowing that this is where our attention goes, and this is what determines the unfoldment of the future that all of us get to step into. Thank you, Father, Mother, our God, for this opportunity to be used in love, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Yes. This is Joanna Wolf, and led a wonderful women's retreat yesterday where the place was packed along with many others. So it was very good. Hey, there's a lot going on at Seaside. Like next week, the classes are starting, and we have we've got Monday nights with Lori Sheets teaching financial freedom. We've got Tuesday nights. Lori likes that one. Woo! I want to work on your abundance. We have Reverend Catherine Economo teaching the roots, the teachers that influenced earnest homes. We have next Sunday the angel lady Janice leading in the wonderful quest for the angels. So there's a lot going on at Seaside and a lot to be grateful for. And I neglect to say thank you, band, for your wonderful expression this morning and this gratitude of what's going on. Rebecca Jade, how fabulous for you to step in. Always a joy to have you share your mojo with us here at Seaside. That smile. Carl, man, you touched our hearts and our souls. How beautiful for the wonderful India work that you are doing. Reverend Tammy, it's a blessing to share Sunday mornings with you always. Reverend Tammy, giving us sound today is Ed, giving us the visual is Marv. And thank you, Tim, for sending this to the world with our wonderful live streaming. And hello to our live streaming crew. And know that there's a lot going on. You heard about the pods. You saw the pods being filled up with things for our wonderful sale, which will assist our live streaming to the world, so it has a real good effect. We have our 25th anniversary going on, so make sure if you're not part of the Silver Circle that you become part of that. It's a wonderful way to support our community. But I'll tell you one of the things that we're doing right now is Gourmets for God. We are having these wonderful meals in people's homes. And so this is the last time you're going to have the opportunity to see me cook. So I want to invite Vanessa to bring out here my final course for you to see. You've seen me do the soup. You have seen me do the fresh Caesar salad. You have seen me do the main course last week, the pasta. And today comes the dessert, the flaming dessert. I'm about to do for you the wonderful banana flambe. All right, yeah, let's give it up for that. And what I have learned is good cooks are never short of friends. So I encourage you to make sure you get our cookbook this fall, where you will find all of my tasty treats in there and become a wonderful Epicurean master. And so today, I am going to give you the quick version of what I'm making. Banana flambe. There you go. Butter. A lot of good organic butter, which I'm not sure what it means other than they probably don't shoot the cows up with hormones and ugly other things. A lot of butter, fresh butter for that flavor. And along with the butter, sugar. People like sugar, I've been told. So lots of sugar. Yeah, it's the last service. We'll do it all. Okay, we have got sugar. We have got butter. We got to get it moving. Are you hot? Not as hot as it used to be. Let's see. Yeah, second. There we go. Get the butter and the sugar, turning it into a masterful. Oh, the Cavassier. This is the good stuff. This was my hat. It's not any good without the hat. Okay. I hope that does not foretell of the way this meal is going. Okay. Now, where was the Cavassier, the good stuff? This was Grandpa's old cognac. There's not going to be a next year with this. So there we go. A lot of good flavor in there. Little cinnamon. Ooh, that's a little bit too much. But this is never going to make it past the band. This is pure good stuff. Okay, we got the cognac. We have got the butter. We have got the sugar going. We have got the cinnamon. Now, we throw in the bananas. That's how you get banana flambe. Okay, they usually do them long ways, but I learned this from the howler monkeys in Costa Rica. You just break it in half and squish it in. It works out well. Tends to work out better in blenders, but like I said, it's not going to get past the band. So they're the only ones who drink before lunch. Okay, and then cut it lengthwise a little bit. Oh, you should. Okay, now here comes the flaming part. The key is this 151. Whoa. Let's see. Whoa! Don't tell Tammy that I spilled. And then we're supposed to cook it until the flames are gone. A little extra dousing of the bananas. I keep burning my fingers on this, man. The flame must still be going. Is it still going, guys? I can't see. Maybe I used a little bit too much of that. Hey. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. Then you put it on here, a little extra flavor, a little cognac sugar, 151. Put the banana in here, a little flavor here. There we go. Now, wait, not quite done here. Now, we have the organic coconut chocolate from the women's retreat yesterday. Sandy Kay made this, and it is just fresh flavors on top. There we go. Guys, you can't have this one. But the band, anybody in the band want this? Come on, Bob. Come on, man. They filled up at the first. Oh, they have. Anyway, there you go. You have got the full spectrum of meals. Woo! Okay. Hard to look dignified while wearing an apron. Anyway, only way out of this is to pray. I invite you to join me in this wonderful place in the heart and soul where there is laughter. And to remember that this spiritual quest is one of fun and is joy. And knowing that the blessings of God is fully upon this moment and the richness of Spirit reveals its flavor in this gourmet of consciousness where we choose to take these divine thoughts and no longer feed the past and the pain, but open up to the emergence of the greater possibility that is yet to be. To know that this present moment is divine, that it is God, and I can feel it and I sense it and know that it is in this knowingness that I'm able to speak from the revelation of wholeness and completeness and the blessings of the divine. For that intelligence that guides the universe does not need me to direct my life. And so I let go of my struggle and my pain. I open up to the emergence of that impulsion of the divine itself and find that which created it all, my first breath, my first life, knows exactly how to move me forward in life. And what I know for each and every one of us is that emergence of moving in the direction that is for our highest and good. And if there's any of those boulders or those challenges that cannot seem to be moved out of life at this time, I invite you to lift into your awareness. Call it what you want, whether it's dis-ease, discomfort, lack, scarcity, constriction, pain. It doesn't matter. When I reach out and take hold of that Heavenly Father, Mother God's hand, when I open up and realize my true heritage, that the nature of God, which is the perfection, is the abundance, is the life itself, is my nature. Because I am that expressing in this moment, then those boulders levitate. They dissolve from my world and my life, from our world and our life. And all of a sudden, there is a newfound strength and assurance knowing that I can return home. That I am welcomed. No matter what mistakes or challenges I have had, what thoughts have filled my attention, they no longer need to determine my future. That I let it go in this moment and open up to that God thought, to that God possibility. And know that that infinite wisdom which guides it all is the same intelligence that allows me to move into a world where there is enough today and forevermore. That I give up trying to hold on, hoard, or make things happen on my own. But I live within the flow of life. And this flow purges out anything unlike itself. The body rights itself. It brings itself into balance. The weight is perfect. The mobility is ideal. The organs work. Every cell, every tissue, every organ, every fiber, the physical being just vibrates with the God resonance. The abundance flows. I live in that affluent flow of life, for that is the natural state as that river flows. And with that comes all that needs to be there to nourish, replenish, Relationships are healed, whether father-son, parent-child, intimate, friendship. Spirit emerges in the midst. And there's a new story, a new way of seeing. I see as God sees. I hear as Spirit hears the truth. And this, I am grateful. I'm thankful for this spiritual community that is growing, that is thriving, that is expanding, where healing is going on, that when people walk through these doors, they can feel the joyous presence of God. Every prayer in our prayer request chest is answered, and it's with this sense of well-being on this glorious day that I say thank you. I live in the state of grace and appreciation for the divine right action as the very life of being, and I let go and I trust because it is so. And knowing that it is so, I let go and I allow the Spirit to have its way. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. Oh, now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my arms are open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. Want to hear you sing, come on. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Hey. And our affirmation is, I am fully present when I'm with my children. Together, I am fully present when I'm with my children. One more time, just feel that gift. I am fully present when I'm with my children. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love, living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe, through joys and through fear. In this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love, living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor our truth as together we walk God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace.